Hello, everyone, and welcome to Classic Sitcoms, Facts, and Trivia. Appreciate you being here. Before we get started, I ask you to please subscribe, as when we hit 1,000 subscribers, we will start another contest. I ask you to please share these out so maybe we can get a few more subscribers, maybe your family and friends. And if they win the contest, they may say, hey, this would be a cool Christmas present for this person. I'm thinking, always thinking. Today's video is on the actress that played Luann Poovie on Gomer Pyle USMC, and how she said she loved him to pieces when she was talking about Jim Nabors after he passed away. She had some good things to say. Let's take a look. Elizabeth MacRae had a tender and poignant moment when the doorbell rang on the right after Jim Nabors had passed away. She said there stood her postman with her mail and condolence. He said, "I'm glad you're home," MacRae said. And then he said, "I want to tell you, I'm so sad to hear about Gomer. Jim Nabors died November 30th at his Honolulu home in 2017. He was 87. He was Gomer Pyle. It makes me so sad," she said, MacRae, who portrayed Luann Poovie, Nabors' girlfriend, in Gomer Pyle USMC. The television comedy that aired with 150 episodes from 64 to 69. She said, "I loved working with Jim, and we just clicked. Aaron Rubin was our senior producer. I went to read for another part, and I was trying not to have a southern accent, but Lee Phillips, another North Carolina actor, looked in and said, 'My lord, that's my favorite southern belle.' Rubin said, 'Can you speak with a southern accent?' Well, could she ever? He hired me on the spot," MacRae said about Rubin. And that was the birth of Luann Poovie. It was supposed to be a one-shot deal, and I did 15 episodes. I was Gomer's girlfriend. Gomer Pyle USMC was a spinoff of the Andy Griffith Show, where Nabors was a regular and where MacRae did one episode. MacRae remembers the 68th season of Gomer Pyle USMC. "When I was making Gomer, I lost my husband to a coronary." MacRae says about the Oscar award-winning screenwriter Nedrick Young of the 58 film The Defiant Ones, starring Sidney Poitier and Tony Curtis. "And then my little baby died. Jim's mother, Mavis, and Jim said, 'Come stay with us.' Although MacRae said she declined their generosity, Jim was wonderful and Mavis was wonderful." MacRae got her acting started in the late 50s when Otto Preminger, the late actor and director, eventually offered her a contract that would lead to television roles in Gunsmoke, Maverick, Route 66, 77 Sunset Strip, The Untouchables, Dr. Kildare, Hawaiian Eye, Bonanza, Rawhide, The Virginian, and The Fugitive. She would act along with the noted episodic actors and actresses to include James Arness, James Garner, Ephraim Zimbalist Jr., Richard Chamberlain, Michael Landon, Robert Stack, David Jansen, and Clint Eastwood. She appeared in the soap operas General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, The Guiding Light, and Search for Tomorrow, as well as the 74 Oscar-nominated film The Conversation, starring Gene Hackman and directed by Francis Ford Coppola. Nabors had his own, The Jim Nabors Hour, from 69 to 71, and later had guest appearances and roles on such telecasts to include The Carol Burnett Show, The Johnny Cash Show, The Rookies, The Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour, The Lucy Show, and Return to Mayberry. His films included Stroker Ace and The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. He was known, too, for his baritone singing voice, as well as his voice of Back Home Again in Indiana at the Indianapolis 500. "The thing I can say most about Jim is that he was one of the most generous people I ever knew," she said. "He would do concerts and benefits to his charities." MacRae, who grew up and still lived in Fayetteville, says those who came up watching the Andy Griffith Show and Gomer Pyle USMC always will remember Nabors. "I think they'll always remember Gomer," she says, "and for those who knew him personally, they'll remember Jim as Jim. It's so sad to think Frank Sutton, who played Sergeant Carter on Gomer Pyle USMC, is gone, and Jim. They are both foils for each other, and you couldn't have one without the other." She thought back to her 15 episodes opposite Nabors. "Gomer, Gomer, Gomer," she said. She was Luann Poovie all over again. I loved him to pieces. I love it when they really care for each other behind the scenes. It makes the show mean so much more. And yes, that's my wife in there cooking if you hear the beep beeps. That's all I got for you. Please, if you have not yet subscribed, please do, and please share these out. Have a great and blessed Sunday. God bless you, and I'll be praying for you.